Hi guys, how are you? I wanted to pop on because first of all, I'm really excited about this live auction that we're going to be doing. Secondly, I just wanted to explain to you a little bit more about why I chose to select the Honeypot Children's Charity as my charity for the last couple of years. It's quite a long story, so bear with me. But when we were young, my father, who was a doctor, used to take us into hospital every Christmas Day to see the patients. So obviously, while all the other children were opening all their gifts, we were trudging around the hospital looking at old people who were really ill and thinking at the beginning, why are we here? But after a little bit of time, I do actually still remember it now, and I was only really young. And I just remember the smiles on the old people's faces that these young kids were like coming in and running around the ward and going crazy. And we'd even have the horrible Christmas lunch that they had there, which made me so grateful for the one we were going to have in the evening at home. But it was just really a way for my father to try and explain to us how lucky we were, how privileged we were to have the lives that we had, and that we were getting an abundance of Christmas presents under the tree every year. So jump forward 4 years and Jasper is a really lovely little boy. He is beginning to notice things like toys, and he's starting to say that he really wants this, he really wants that. He's got no concept of money at all. But I'm beginning to notice that he's starting to sound like a little bit of a spoiled child, because he's like, oh, I want to have this for Christmas, mummy, I want this, I want that. And I suddenly realised that he didn't have any concept that there's some people out there weren't going to get anything at Christmas. He didn't realise how lucky he was and how privileged he was to be getting any gifts at all. And suddenly there was like this light bulb moment when I went back and I thought, gosh, I remember going to hospital with my father, and I remember what an effect that had on me. What can I do to help Jasper understand there are children out there that are not quite so fortunate, that won't be getting anything at all at Christmas? Now, at the same time, we had some bags that I wasn't really happy with in terms of QC. So we had put them to one side and I was trying to work out what I was going to do with them. Then I had another light bulb. It was a very light bulb moment day. And I thought perhaps we could donate these bags to family and friends, ask them to make a donation of their choice, and then we would find some families that we could give some Christmas presents to. So the next day at school, I was chatting to a social worker mum, and she said, oh my God, I could list like a load of families just like right away where those children will fall through the cracks. They will not get a gift at Christmas. And I got really upset. In fact, I still get emotional now when I think about it. And it just touched a nerve with me to think, gosh, there are children out there in life that are just having a really shit time. They're not having a childhood like my children are getting. They're not running around laughing, smiling, playing on the trampoline, getting Christmas and birthday presents. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we could do something to help them? So the next day on Facebook, just to my private group of friends and family, I opened up a charitable donation option where people could do a Just Giving, and they could give anything they wanted and they would get a bag. And I said the bags may or may not last. You will be getting the same bag each, but as they failed in QC, they don't come with any warranty. You might get lucky, you might not. That's the end of it. And I expected hopefully to be able to get, I don't know, a couple of £100, and we could help a family. We made about £3,000 and it was unbelievable. So we then went round TK Maxx. We found the names of 10 families. We got the names of their children. We got the ages of their children. We wrote a list. And then Jasper and I went around primarily TK Maxx, because I was a buyer there at the time. We could get a discount, so it meant we could even get more for our money. And we bought up all the most amazing gifts that we could find in TK Maxx. I then went on Amazon and I bought all the gifts I remember my children loving at the ages that these children were. And it was ridiculous. We had like a production line. We had elves' hats on. My brother came with his family. My mum was there. There was like 8 of us in the room, like all across the dining table. We were all wrapping these presents. And Jasper was doing it too. And for me, he was like, it was just amazing, because he got it, which I loved, but equally I could see him struggling, because the presents that he was seeing were presents that he really, really wanted. So there was like a drone in there for one of the 10-year-old boys. There was a set of dinosaurs, and as Jasper was 4, he was like, Mummy, I really, really like these dinosaurs. And I said, yeah, I know. And Kyle, who's 4, he's really going to love them too. And so Jasper was like, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I get really emotional talking about this. So yeah, Jasper wrapped the presents up and he put them to one side, and I was just touched that he knew what he was doing and he was giving up things that he really, really liked. Sadly, Jasper had to go to bed before we'd wrapped all the presents because we were up for about 7 hours doing them all. But the next day I kept one present to one side for him to wrap, which he was really excited about. And it just was such a lovely thing for me to see how he had really understood the concept that there are children out there that don't get anything at Christmas, and that he was really happy to gift those items that he really, really wanted. It was actually really nice because on the dinosaurs, because I knew he loved them, I bought 2 packets of them in TK Maxx. So at Christmas, Father Christmas did deliver him the dinosaurs, and he came running down and he was like, "But mummy, I thought that these ones went to Kyle." And I was like, "Yeah, do you know what? Kyle got them." I said, "But because you were so good about the presents, Father Christmas must have realised that you deserved them too." So it was just a really nice story that he got what he really wanted, but he was prepared to give it up. He was prepared to go without. And that was just a really important lesson for him. And it was quite a humbling experience for me as a parent to see how he'd learnt the values. Now, after Christmas, I was then thinking, right, okay, that meant something to me. It touched a nerve, as you can see. It kind of resonated with what I'd done in my own childhood. So I was thinking, okay, how can we replicate this? And I spent about a year or two literally looking for a way that we could give Christmas presents to kids that weren't going to get Christmas presents otherwise. And there are charities out there that do that already, but they just didn't really resonate with me. And then I stumbled across the Honeypot Foundation, and I just read everything about it. And although it's dealing with carers, it wasn't necessarily about giving a Christmas gift at Christmas, because children don't just need a gift at Christmas. Children need to be looked after throughout the year. And what they do is, it's a very small charity. They have 2 properties in the UK that are like respite centres, and the children are forwarded onto them through either social workers or through doctors, where it's become apparent that they are either missing school, or teachers often do it as well. They're quiet, they're subdued, and when they find out the reasons why, it's because they're caring for their parents. They haven't really got a childhood, and they are looking after sickly parents. They're looking after parents with drug or alcohol abuse, and those children don't have a childhood. And I'm going to get really emotional again, because for me, every child should have a childhood. Every child should get to have the childhood my children get. And I realise that my children are incredibly blessed. They are so lucky to be loved by a mother and a father, to have their grandparents living close by that they can see regularly. As many of you know, we have an au pair who loves them equally as well, and they're just surrounded by love, and they are truly blessed for that reason. And for these children, they may have love in their house, but a lot of them don't, and a lot of them are having to be adults a lot earlier than they should be. And the children's charity, the Honeypot, allows them to be kids. It allows them to go and spend a weekend with the money that the charity makes, to go on the play bus, it travels around the country. That's in addition to the 2 houses that they have. And the children get to go on there and just for one day or for a weekend forget that they are carers, forget that they're looking after people, and be kids. And that is so therapeutic for that child, and it is just such a important thing to me. As you can see, by the way, I get really emotional about it, and I'm just really, really passionate about it, because I feel like the children that we are helping today are the parents of tomorrow and are the parents of the future, and I just want to help raise them as best we can in these difficult situations that they are faced. And they didn't put themselves in these situations. They were sort of forced into these situations, and they've just had to like step up and be parents. And they do so much. They get up in the morning at 6 a.m, help wash their parents, or they go off and do the family shop. Often they are up at 5 a.m. doing all these things before they've even gone to school, and then they have to do school, and then as soon as they get home they have to clean and mop the floor and iron and hoover, and then get their families to bed. They might have siblings that they are completely looking after on their own with no support. No one is helping them. They're just getting on with it, and they have fallen through the cracks in many ways. So this charity, as you can see, is really personal to me. So I am really excited that we are not only giving £10 from every full priced item that we sell online to the charity, and I'm really proud of that. And as we grow, we are able to do more with them. I am super, super excited about this auction that Nina came up with. And I'm really, really can't wait to donate these gifts and to donate a little bit more to the charity so that we can try and give back whatever we can to support the children that I mentioned before. So we will be doing the auction. The date is yet to be revealed. It's going to be a live auction, so you guys can get involved. I love you guys so much. I can't wait for you guys to get involved in this. I'm really, really excited. And also just know that we are not only allowing you to bag the last Bodies in the world for now, all the money, all the profits will be going to the children's charity.